Often in our conversation with financial advisors, we'll ask the question, are you getting all the referrals you deserve? Overwhelmingly, advisors will acknowledge the fact that they're not getting all the referrals that they want, but that they feel that they deserve more than they're getting. The question we would ask is, how do your clients describe you? Most advisors have no idea. We would ask you to make your clients the voices you listen to. An excellent mid-course correction is to start the process of reframing. Begin to uncover exactly how it is that you are perceived and described by your ideal client.
It's so important to know how your clients interpret your value, because it's not what you say, it's what they hear that really matters. So here's what we're asking you to do at the end of every conversation over the course of the next 90 days. Just simply wrap up a conversation by saying this to your clients. Just before I let you go, I want to let you know that we're going through a process for the purposes of elevating the client experience. And we feel the best way to do that is to make our clients the voice we listen to. So before I let you go, can I just ask you 3 quick questions? To which your clients will say, well, of course, because this is a client-centered initiative. Thank them, and then just walk through the questions. This process is Socratic, it builds upon itself, and as I've said before, many issues are 2 or 3 questions deep. So here's where you would begin.
These questions are important to begin to gain an understanding of exactly that perception and value that they have interpreted from your process. The value question is best stated and really only needs to be asked to a sample of your best clients, not something we need to go through the entire practice with. The first question would sound something like, I'm curious, John, Mary, what is it that our team does that you and your family have found of most value? This is the value question. Pause and let them talk. This is the first thing that will come to mind for them on what it is that makes you referable. And for some of them, the first time that they've had to verbalize exactly what it is that you do that they have felt has added the most value to their family. The second question goes in the same vein, but it's about identifying what it is that maybe they're not getting from the experience that could help competitor-proof your relationship from the other advisor maybe asking that value question of what's missing. And the second question would sound something like, I'm curious, what is it that we're not doing or that you would like to see happening within the financial relationship that you're currently not experiencing?
What's interesting about this is many of your clients will say, you don't have to change a thing. To which you can say, well, I appreciate that, but the status quo will never prevail. When we meet again in the future, I'm going to show you enhancements that we are providing as part of the client experience. You're planting the seed, you're starting to future pace. You will have clients who will say to you, well, you know, it'd be really nice if you had some insurance solutions or if you had some debt facilities. They'll start to mention things that they wish you had that you currently do have, but they're not aware of it. So they're transactionally fixating on what you provided for them, but they don't understand the complete picture. To which you can say to a client, you know, it's interesting. I've come to the realization that there are many things we do in fact provide for our clients that they're not aware of. So when we do get together again soon, I'm going to drill down further into our process.
We've covered the first 2 questions. The value question, really their perception, what it is that you bring to the table. The second question, the gap question, may be something that they'd like to see on the table that they haven't quite recognized. This third number is the tipping point. This will be what it is that helps them become an advocate for your practice. It would start with something like, if you don't mind me asking, I'm curious. When the topic of what it is we do for your family comes up, how do you describe us? What do you say?
What this reveals is that your clients don't know how to describe you, short of the platitudes, superlatives, and generalities, such as, well, I just say I trust you, you take good care of us, performance has been decent. that sort of thing that doesn't lead to actual referrals. Now, here's what's interesting. This feedback will give you permission to simply say this to a client. I'm asking you these questions because I want to let you know that as a value-added service that my clients, I think, will really find to be of value, but might not be aware of, I make myself available to be a sounding board for friends and family members of my clients. And they do not need to become a client to take advantage of this service. If they're important to you, they're important to us. I want to let you know that, especially now. See, this is positioned as a service you're providing, not pitched as a favor you're asking of the client. Now, what this will often reveal between 30 and 50% of the time is the client will give you added permission. You'll come to a fork in the road where your client will say, I didn't know you did that. Or that's interesting because I was talking to my sister over the weekend. You two should probably talk. You can then segue into the why, the who, and the how. The other 50 to 70% of the time when a client says, I'll keep that in mind, it's good to know, you can just say thank you for their feedback, and now you can start imprinting your value to your client over the lifetime of the relationship.